Hey, Shalom Shalom Mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda ben Shomer, and today I would like to take a look at some old familiar sayings in the English and look at them in a new light. According to Ephesians 2:2, it says, "Wherein in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience." I was thinking the other day that when something is not quite right or something suspicious is going on, or if there's an outbreak of negative, odd, mass social behavior, you may hear people say, "There must be something in the air." I wondered if they got that from the passage we just quoted above. For HaSatan has been called the prince of the power of the air because Yeshua said in Luke 10:18, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven," based most likely on the words of Isaiah 14:12, which says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" It is believed by many that before the fall of man, Satan was cast down to the earth and therefore occupies the air because the Ruach of Elohim, the Spirit of God, occupies the surface of the earth. And this too is why some believe that Satan appeared as a serpent in the branches of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and not as a snake in the grass. And the curse upon the form in which the deceiver took, being a snake, was to eat what God had made, which is man, from the dust, in his own image and a little lower than the angels. And an angel is what Satan is a fallen version of. HaSatan was symbolically cast down in the form of the serpent to eat what he attempted to destroy, which is man, thus becoming cursed like the ground itself due to the sin, and thus becoming somewhat earthbound, if you will. Poetic justice, I suppose. Maybe this too is where the phrase "eat my dust" came from. If this is not the origins of such phrases as "there must be something in the air" or "eat my dust," at least this gives a new meaning to them. Genesis 1:1 and 2 says, "In the beginning Elohim created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Elohim, the Spirit of God, moved upon the face of the waters." Genesis 1:26 and 27, "And Elohim said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping things that creepeth upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created them." Genesis 2:7. "And Yud-He-Vav-He Elohim formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." Genesis 3:1. "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yud-He-Vav-He Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, Elohim hath said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden." Genesis 3:14. "And Yud-He-Vav-He Elohim said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life." I just thought it was interesting how these phrases that we have heard from our childhood popped into my head, and I was able to make a spiritual biblical application to those very phrases. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is where these phrases originated, but if not, it sure does give a new, fresh spiritual meaning to some old familiar phrases that we often hear of in virtually our daily conversations. So this was just a little Ray Bash's rambling for you. Nothing really deep, theological, doctrinal, customary, or spiritual, but just some kind of interesting observations I've made about familiar phrases that we say here in the Western world. Thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavua Tov.